I was done with networking. I wanted nothing to do with it anymore. He introduced me to this guy with 100 rental properties. That's $195,000 that I got from Little Rosemary. But because of BNI and the structure, it just propelled me.
Hi, I'm Elaine Zambos. I am the Executive Director for BNI Southeast Tennessee, and today I am talking with my friend Mark Sheperd from Shelter Insurance. And I met Mark in 2022 because you were a cold call. I cold called you.
You were. And I was done with networking. I wanted nothing to do with it anymore. I was part of a couple of 4 or 5 networking groups. It didn't work out for me. I was done with it. But I have a mentor of mine, Alan Niles, who was like, "You've got to be part of BNI." And when you called me, I'm like, I've got to do this. I don't have a choice.
I have that effect on people.
And it's all history now. I love networking. I had no idea I was good at it. I was wildly unsuccessful at it before, but because of BNI and the structure, it just propelled me.
So when you say you were not successful before, tell me about that.
So a lot of those opportunities when you'd go to these other networking functions, it's kind of made for that person who's the biggest self-promoter, the guy who's the loudest in the room. Believe it or not, none of those are me. And I just didn't do well in those situations. And I'm like, I don't enjoy this. And it wasn't, so my time is precious, is very valuable to me, and it's like money. I only have so much of it in a week. And I would go to these events and I would never see a return on those events. And I'm saying, why am I doing this? And so it wasn't until I went to BNI where we have our metric system. We can quantify and measure, okay, was this profitable for me this week? What have I done for other people? There were all these metrics in there, and I just ate it up and loved it and just ran off like a firecracker.
Well, but you are being a little bit humble because the chapter that you're in now, the Cleveland Connection chapter, is our largest chapter in Southeast Tennessee with 77 members. You were member number 8.
I know, in two and a half years.
Right.
77.
Yeah. In September of 2022, there were 7 people. You were the 8th person in the room. So quite honestly, I was a little bit desperate when I made that cold call on you.
I know. You played it off. I had no idea. But I do remember calling you after I got in. I was like, Elaine, what did I get into?
You did.
I would call you, and you were so great. You were so valuable to our chapter as a chapter coach. That's one of the things that I would encourage people to do, is to call their chapter coach, and when they're struggling, to bring them in. You would have breakfast with me once a month over at Love's Coffee. Mm-hmm. And another guy who his chapter was struggling, and you would sort of mentor us every month, and we would just get to ask you all these questions. Nothing was off limits, and we would just sort of banter, and I would just pick your brain, and you would correct me because I needed that.
So fast forward, we got through that rough period and we built up a chapter, and in 2023 you were named Member of the Year.
Wow. Just unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. It was great because you had embraced, and now the chapter was up to about 32 people, and you were just flying high, and you were embracing the metrics and doing the one-to-ones. And
yeah, the guy who had given up networking because of BNI and your mentorship and our chapter, it took off.
And then next thing I know, the chapter's up to 50 members. It's 2024, and it's time to select the Member of the Year again, and lo and behold, it's Mark Sheperd.
Yeah, I had brought on a few members
You
that
did.
Yeah.
So 2 years in a row, Member of the Year. So this year, for our 2025 recognition breakfast, you were the MC.
That's right. We had a great time. We got to recognize everyone and their contributions and just celebrate just a banner year, and it's just so much fun.
And so I was in Australia for our global convention.
Yes.
I get this
I didn't get an invite, but
okay, so if you want, you can come to.
Yes, let's do.
Come to Monaco. That's the next global
would be
convention. So I get this invitation to go to this reception for the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, what's this all about? And I get to meet Dr. Ivan Meisner, and I get to be with Mary Kennedy Thompson, who's our CEO, and we get a award, Southeast Tennessee, a Hall of Fame award for the Cleveland Connection chapter.
Wow.
And so you have no idea, that was in November, how hard that was to keep as a secret until March.
I believe it. Yeah. Well, you earned that too with us. Just so much fun. Your mentorship has been fantastic.
So tell me about a referral that you never saw coming from like the most unlikely person.
That's one of the things in BNI. Sometimes we will size people up and we'll say, I'll never get a referral from this person. Don't do that. Because Rosemarie Aioli in our chapter, who she owns a spa, and one week I asked, I said, anyone who is pays rent and you have a landlord, that would be an ideal referral for me because it's possible they have more homes than just one. And so she came up to me and said, let me introduce you to my landlord. Introduced me to him, and I thought I know everyone in Bradley County. I did not know this guy. He had 100 properties.
Wait, he has how many?
He had 100 properties. Little Rosemarie.
Rosemarie, who's from like
Aioli,
the Dominican?
Who's from the Bahamas.
Bahamas.
And she introduced me to this guy with 100 rental properties, and he was nice, and he talked to me, and then he showed me the door. But I knew several other people who knew him, and so I was able to keep that door open and get them to say, hey, you need to call this guy and tell him to talk to me. And because of that introduction from Rose, he is worth $65,000 a year for me. He's just did his renewal for the next year, so that's 3 renewals. That's $195,000 that I got from little Rosemarie.
I'm not sure, there's a lot of stuff to unpack right there, but the first thing I think I need to unpack is we need to raise the membership rates.
Oh, no, they're just perfect. We like them where they are.
Because I'm like, that's a great return.
It's a great return, and it comes back every year too, and all I have to do is just, keep up with the client. So fantastic.
Well, but I think there's a little bit of relationship building that had to happen there, and trust.
Yeah, and we meet with him about semi-annually. We go over his stuff. He loves me. He's referred me to other people, so that actually is more that goes back to BNI because he'll refer me to other friends.
So then that is considered a second tier referral.
And I give Rose credit for those too.
Absolutely.
Just a blast.
So when you first walked into the room at the press.
Oh gosh, it was dark, gloomy, dingy, cold, hard stools. You were there.
I know, I was there, and I remember you leaning. You wouldn't even sit at the stools. You would lean against the wall with your arms crossed. You did. You would lean against.
I was judging, maybe.
You were
I was like, what is
judgmental.
this?
But then you invited, I can't remember I think her name was Evelyn, to do a radio show with you, and I think that started breaking the ice.
With the group, maybe.
With the group, and then you started getting more involved with the one-to-ones to learn more about them, how you could help them, and how they could help you. So as you think that whole scenario through, what is the best part in your one-to-ones?
So part of that is sometimes you think you know everyone in Bradley County. Well, when you sit down with people, you find out that your sphere of influences are different. And they can talk to people that you don't have any relationship with, and you can do the same for them. And so there's some connection there with a couple of people here and there. It happens, but for the majority of the part, there's some disconnection there, and they can connect you to these people. So it's been great.
So, because I'm thinking, as in insurance, that your primary referral partners, if you will, would be like the realtor, the mortgage, those two people.
Yes, they're one of your primary for sure, 100%. But actually, even people in the industry, insurance industry, are great referral partners too, because a lot of times we have niches, and maybe shelter insurance isn't the place for you. But I can call Todd Walker and say, hey, I've got this great client, and because of maybe this one claim, we can't help them. But Todd's got a place and a vendor that he can work with that are, they're not apprehensive about that kind of claim. So he can put them in a different place. And when I do that for, let's say, Todd Walker, then he goes, well, Mark shared business with me, I'm going to share business with him. And it just is a great source too. A lot of people don't think about that, but yes, your realtors are fantastic, and your mortgage lenders are fantastic, but also your insurance industry too. They'll, if you can't write it, send it to someone that can.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about the client and trying to help the client.
That's right. That's what you want to do. When a client leaves and they go, hey, I feel like maybe Mark didn't place me in his company, but he educated me and he put me with the right person. Those people turn into loyalists, not only to where they go, but back to you. And I've had those people call me again during different things, say, hey, I had this situation happen. My child got into a car wreck. Can you help me through this claim process? What should I be doing? And I said, of course. We'll talk you through that.
Because that's going to lead, that relationship builds and builds, and then people talk and it builds on to more. So earlier when you were talking about the relationship and, viewing Todd as, not a competitor.
No.
So there's a word I've been hearing lately called, instead of competition, cooperation.
Yeah, 100%.
And
I love that.
Right? And so how do we share that competition's not competition, that you want to get to know all the other people in your field who are a part of BNI, or not even a part of BNI, but how that can help grow your business. How do we do that, Mark?
I think it can't always be about yourself. Like, you've got to recognize what other people in your professional fields, when they're being successful, man, recognize them, congratulate them, say, how did you do that? Let them mentor you. And then they're going to come to you and say, hey, mentor me, what did you do in this way? And then it just, that fusion of circle of influences has been so important to me and my business and my success in BNI, because you can't hoard everything, because what happens is things drop off and you did all this hoarding, and the truth is you can't do it all. Share that with your other BNI people. And that's been what's important to us too in BNI, to have 77 members, because we don't hold our spots and say, right, I'm the only person in the insurance industry, no other insurance industry. It doesn't work that way. And if you would learn to collaborate, I promise you, they're going to send referrals to you. You're going to send it to them. It's going to be a great working relationship in BNI, and it's going to be one that's successful for you and them.
Right, and I'm not going to pretend that I know all 77 members in your chapter.
Oh, well, I'm not either.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
But I think I'm pretty accurate when I say you're in the personal lines seat for BNI.
Yes.
Todd has commercial, but you have another person who does life.
Yes.
You have another person who's doing
health
and
wellness.
Disability, or health and
Yes.
wellness, and I think a supplemental. So you have like lots of people.
Medicare, Medicaid.
Oh, yeah. So they're all
yeah.
and they're
and
all
they've
helping
all
one.
sent me business, and I've all sent them business, and it's a great working relationship. And I was number 2 in the state of Tennessee for shelter insurance in terms of agents last year, and it's because of those kinds of relationships. Seriously, 100%.
How come I didn't know that, so we could celebrate that?
Oh, because it's.
So what do we got to do to get you to be number 1?
I know that guy's got an office of 5 people, and so I need to hire about 4 more people to come in my office, but it's doable.
Wait, when you say you had to hire 4 more people, last time I was in your office, it was just you.
I know. I still let it just be me. I'm that kind of person. I went from my previous life I had Zaxby's restaurants with 120 employees. So I'm like, do I really want another employee? But it's time.
Okay.
It's time.
Well, hey, and we do have a staffing agency that's in BNI
That's
that
right.
might be able to help you.
We just got one in our chapter.
Yes. So
yeah, we're so excited
to
have them.
They might be able to help you fill
100%.
that spot.
100%.
So, brand new BNI member, somebody who's brand new, just starting into the insurance business, lucky enough to get the PNCC because that's a hot seat.
Yeah.
What advice are you going to give them? How are you going to mentor this new person?
I think the first thing they need to do is make sure when they go to these one-to-ones and they speak with other members, they need to listen to what those members are doing and how they can help them. Try to help them first. Like, don't sit there and promote yourself the whole time. yes, educate them on what you do, but figure out ways that you can help that person, because as soon as you start helping people close business, they're going to go, well, how do I help Mark? He just helped me close business. Now I want to see what I can do for him. So, and that's a mistake I see sometimes when people come into BNI. They'll do a one-to-one, and they'll never ask the person they're sitting with one question about themselves. They only want to talk about themselves. So don't make it about yourself. That's not what BNI is about. It's about givers gain, and which is a very biblical.
It is very biblical.
And so I hold on to givers gain. So do that first, and everything else will.
So I have a couple of pet peeves in BNI.
A couple?
Yeah.
I could probably say a few.
And I love it that you say one-to-one, not one-on-one, one-to-one.
Yes.
I love that. We're getting people broke from saying that. Like, that's not appropriate. But the other is, I really, really want you to help me with this one.
Sure.
I go to a lot of different BNI chapter meetings, right? We have
You do?
29 chapters.
That's amazing.
I know, isn't it? Well, I'm kind of stretching it a little bit. Our 29th one hasn't launched yet, but
That's okay,
we're going to
yeah.
have 29. And so, and there is somebody that sells insurance in every single group.
Of course.
And invariably, at least once a week, I hear, if you drive a car, you know anybody that drives a car, if you see a car, that's a good referral for me.
No, that's a terrible.
Help me.
Yeah, that's a terrible way. It happens all the time. I hear it every week. They'll say an ideal referral to me, it'll just be a general thing. Like, if you own a car or home, then that's me. Send them to me. You're an ideal referral to me. That's not the way you should do it. You really need to, when you get up and talk your 60 seconds in the week, you need to talk about what kind of problems did you solve as an insurance agent that week. Tell your story. What kind of clients did you sign up that week? That's going to help people understand better what you do in your organization. They go, oh, Mark's really good at people that are landlords, that have a lot of tenants. Maybe I could send Mark some of those guys.
Yeah, because Mark, as much as I love you and I love what you do, I didn't wake up this morning going, you know what?
No.
I hope I need an insurance agent, because a lot of people see you, and I don't mean this, but this is a necessary evil, right? I can't drive my car legally without you, right? The bank's not going to give me a loan on my house without you.
No one likes their insurance guy.
No, they don't. So share
We're
with me.
lawyers.
Share with me an example of how you've helped somebody. Like, they came to you and you were able to get them into the right policy, and then how you and Shelter were able to make this horrible problem go away. Maybe, whatever that.
Yeah, so many times people will get these nasty non-renewable letters, like their insurance agents are calling them and sending them letters saying, we're not going to renew your policy. That's a perfect referral for me, because they can come to me, I can look at their situation, and we can develop a plan. Say, okay, you're not being renewed because your roof has got to be replaced. So why don't we put together a plan in place? Let's call my underwriting team. Let's show them this plan that you have in place, and let's get you covered for 3 months. Let's get you covered for 6 months, however long it takes for them to get that new roof put on. There are many times where people are coming from out of state, and they're like, no one will take us because our roof is too old. So, okay, we'll take you if you can put a plan together in the next 3 months and get that done. We'll go ahead and do this for you. Well, guess what? They love you after that, because you fixed this problem they had. Mm-hmm. They don't see you anymore as I have to have you. They look at you with gratitude and they go, hey, thank you for working this out for me, because no one else would put a plan together with their underwriting team. All they said is, we can't write you.
Oh, wow. So, Mark, it's going to happen. You're going to back out of a parking spot. You're not going to be paying attention. You're going to hear a crunch.
Yep.
Can I just call you, or am I going to have to call 800 numbers and get put on hold? And
no, all my clients have my cell phone. I give that out, because usually those things happen at the worst times. It's on the weekend. It's on the holidays. So people call me and text me all the time. My phone's probably beeping right now. Well, they'll just have a question like, hey, is this something I should file? What kind of policies do I have? And so we'll look up their policies and we'll remind them what their deductibles are. We'll remind them what kind of uninsured motorist they have, because a lot of times these things will happen in parking lots where someone hits them and then they pull off and they're gone. They go, what happened to this guy? We don't know what happened, but I came out of Food City with a big old bump on my vehicle. And so we'll look at their policy and say, this is what you need to do. And they call me on my cell phone, and they call me anytime. And then we'll put them with claims, and we'll help them with that process.
So share with me what I need to say to the person who sees an ad on TV and says, oh, but in 15 minutes, I can get cheap insurance.
Well, a lot of times when they're doing that, they actually are going to these companies that sort of feed it to a number of places. So when you put in your information, you're not actually getting a quote. They will sell your information to the highest bidder. And so you start getting and they'll sell it to 5 or 6 people like me. I bought leads before, but they'll sell them to people like us. And then you'll get a call from 6 or 7 different insurance agents trying to sell you insurance. They have no idea if they can get you a better coverage. They just are trying to call you.
That's how that works.
It's how it works. And then you get phone calls for the next, and they'll sell it again in 3 months. It's called a fresh lead, and then a 3-month-old aged lead, and then they'll do a 1 year. So that phone call comes a number of times. And they'll sell it to 5 or 6 different people.
You're giving me anxiety as I hear you speak about that. So you're not buying leads
anymore.
It would
be better for you to call, different Google insurance agents in your area and just to call 4 or 5 of them, because essentially that's what you're doing.
So I take it you don't buy leads anymore?
I have during certain times, and they work for certain people, like if they've got a non-renewal letter or they've got kids that are in college and if they've had some life changes, sometimes they will work, and those people are still with me. So leads aren't terrible, but they can be a mess. Sure. And a lot of times you're calling people that aren't happy that you're calling them. They're like, why is everyone calling me? You're the 4th person to call me, that kind of thing. So
I'm going to wrap this up and put a bow on it.
Yes.
What can I do to help you, Mark?
Well, you can continue to mentor me. Like, you meant so much to us in our chapter, because I can remember when it was just 9 people. You I kind of threw a lot of questions at you. But you were one of the reasons why we're at 77 members, because you were willing to come in. My energy is sometimes super high. I can remember many times where you would come and say, I love the energy behind what you're saying, Mark, but why don't we refocus it in this way that'll be more beneficial to your chapter? I like the idea, but that doesn't work in BNI. You've helped save us so many problems, and you created so many shortcuts for us, and everything that you said and BNI said, it was true. And if people will just continue to sort of like trust the BNI sauce and the recipe that BNI gives us, then they'll be successful too, and they can have a chapter that only had 9 people and take it to 77.
Absolutely, and that's why people come to BNI. We started this conversation, and you said you went to lots of different networking events. Yeah. You went to all these different things.
I was terrible at it.
And you were terrible at it. Well, you were terrible at it because there was no system in place to be good at it.
Yeah.
And that's what BNI does offer. That is the secret to the success of BNI. We are the largest networking organization in the world. We've been around for 41 years, and there's a reason, and it's because there's that system in place, right? Yeah. And so when you veer off that system,
that's right,
things go haywire, right? And so that's how Cleveland Connection has made it to where they are, to be, 3-peat chapter of the year, right, and then a global award-winning chapter, and to have a 2-time member of the year in it is because it does follow the system. We're not doing things in that chapter that are not a part of that 20-point.
100%.
Right. Mark, thank you. And as we depart, what's one thing that you want to take away with you today to make it a great day?
what can I take away from me? I think really remembering that we didn't get here just as one person. You're getting there, it takes all 77 members to be successful. And so you sharing that success with them too. So when we're recognized, it's not just one person doing it. It takes 77 people doing that. And so I get to have those celebrations with 77 other business professionals, and it's so much fun, and we cheer each other on, and sometimes we're there to boost each other up, and sometimes we're there to cheer each other on. And BNI has just been such a great place for me and my business, and thank you.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you being here. You could have been anywhere this morning, and you chose to be here with me.
Of course.
Thank you so much. I take that very seriously.